Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, you're welcome to Sew with Mediva. And if you're a returning subscriber or a returning viewer, thank you for sticking to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to perfectly draft your bustier pattern with yoke. So I use this pattern to create this simple structured dress that I'm wearing, and you can see how beautiful it looks. So this is what the back of the dress looks like. And this dress also have a fox pocket in front. So if this is something you are interested in, make sure to keep watching and make sure you watch till the end so that you don't miss out on any detail. And if you find this video useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. So I made use of 2 yards of this beautiful African print fabric and about half yard of the net fabric. So you're going to need up to 1.5 yard if you want yours as a long sleeve dress. So this dress is divided into two: the upper part, which is the bustier with yoke, and the lower part, which is the A line. So we're going to start with the upper part and I'll be drafting it on the pattern paper. So we're starting with the upper part of the front panel and we'll be drafting it on the pattern paper for more clarity and accuracy of measurements. So the paper is not in a fold of 2, but when I'm cutting on my fabric, I'm going to cut it on a fold. So I've gone ahead to mark the basic vertical measurements we're going to need for the upper part. So the first line here is the shoulder line. So from this shoulder line now, I'll come down to my nipple point, which is 10.5 inches, my bust point. And the next measurement is from my shoulder to my under bust, which is 13.5 inches. And the next one is from the shoulder to the half length, which is where the upper part is going to stop. So mine is 16.5 inches, as you can see. So I have everything marked out already. So go ahead to mark your own correct vertical measurement and then extend the lines this way. So after taking out the excess paper I have, I'll go ahead to just label the lines. So go ahead to label yours so that you don't get confused. So after that, the next thing is to place the round body measurements on the pattern. So I'm going to come to the shoulder line now and mark the shoulder measurements divided by 2. So if you're making your sleeveless like mine, you can go ahead to remove half an inch from the measurement. And then from that point, I'll come down again by my round armhole measurements divided by 2, which is 8 inches, and I'll add 1 inch for the shoulder slope, making 9 inches. I'll mark the 9 inches point and then connect the 2 points together this way. And then I'll further extend the line to create the chest line. After that, the next thing is to mark the neckline measurement, and the wideness of the neckline I worked with is 4 inches, while the depth is 3 inches. So you can decide to work with something higher or lower, just depends on what you want. And then I'll use my curved roller to create the neckline this way. After that, I'll come over to this armhole line and come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope, then connect it to meet the neckline this way. So the next thing we want to do is to place where you want the yoke to stop. So I'm going to come down from the highest point of the shoulder line by 7 inches. If you want your yoke higher, which is the lacy part, you can do 6 inches or 5 inches. It just depends on what you want. And then I'll extend the line this way. After that, the next thing is to place the dart. And to get the dart line, divide your nipple to nipple measurement by 2. So mine is 4 inches. And from this center front, I'll take the 4 inches on all the lines this way. Mark your own measurement on all the lines and then connect all the points together to form a straight line this way. So after marking the dart line, the next thing is to take the under bust tightening. So for the under bust tightening, I'm going to do 1 inch on both sides of the line, but a bigger side can do 1.5 inches towards that side I'm pointing at, and just maintain 1 inch on this other side. So I'll connect the line all the way now to the half length, the same 1 inch on both sides. I'll connect it all the way down to the half length, and then on the bust point I'm going to come down by 1 inch, and then I'll go ahead to use my curved roller to just curve it into the under bust this way. So after that, the next thing is to take the over bust tightening, and I'm going to just do 0.5 inches on both sides of the line. So a bigger size can do 0.75 on both sides of the line. And then I'll use my curved roller again to just blend it into the bust, into the dart line this way. So this is what we have. The next thing is to place the round body measurement. So before I do that, I'm going to extend this my yoke line. This is the yoke line all the way down. So I'll come over now to the bust point and place my round bust measurements divided by 4. So my round bust measurements divided by 4 is 10.5 inches. I'll add that 1 inch at the upper bust tightening. I'll add it to the bust measurement. That is 11.5 inches, and then I'll add 1 extra inch to it for my seam allowance. So after that, I'll come over to the half length line. Then I'll place my round waist measurements divided by 4, which is 9 inches. I'll add these 2 inches for that to make 11 inches and 1 inch for seam allowance, making 12 inches. So I'll go ahead to connect all the points together this way, and then I'll connect the bust line all the way to the yoke line this way. So after that, the next thing is to take the armhole curve. So on this armhole line, as you can see, get the midpoint. Mine is 4 inches. And then from that 4 inches, come in again by 0.5 inches. And then use your curved roller to connect it all the way to meet the chest line. Just follow what I'm doing. So you're connecting it all the way to the chest line this way. So after that, this is what you should have. Let's go ahead to cut it out. So let's go ahead to cut it out. I'm going to start by separating the yoke from the lower bodice. So this is the yoke. And then I'll go ahead to just label it and set it aside. So before I open up the lower bodice, I want to show you guys something. So you'll notice that when you take in this overbust tightening, your yoke becomes wider than the bodice. Let me show you guys. So when you take in that 1 inch at this upper bust, your yoke will now become wider than the lower bodice. So what you can do to avoid that is to add this 1 inch dart or whatever that you have at the upper bust tightening, add it to this armhole point, just as you can see me doing in this video. I'm going to add that 1 inch dart now to this armhole point, and then just go ahead to create another armhole curve. So by doing this, when you close up that dart, it is going to maintain the same size with the yoke. So I'm going to just cross out the previous curve. So we're not going to be making use of that anymore. So I'll go ahead to cut out the new armhole curve this way. So after cutting out, this is what you have. You can see that the lower bodice is now bigger than the yoke by 1 inch. So by the time you take in the upper bust tightening this way, by the time you take it in this way, you see that the upper and the lower parts are now the same. So you're not going to have any excess on the yoke fabric. So I hope you guys understand. So let's go ahead now to open up the dart. So after opening up, this is what we have. So I'm going to cut this on a fold. This part is going to be the folded part, and this is going to be 2 pieces. So let's go ahead now to work on the back panel. So for the back, I've gone ahead to cut out the pattern paper, and it is not in a fold of 2. So the back is going to have a zipper allowance of 1.5 inches. So I have marked the vertical measurements just like I did with the front. I'll just carry you guys along. So the first line here is the shoulder line. So from my shoulder to my nipple point, my bust point is 10.5 inches, and to my half length is 16.5 inches. So after that, I came in from this zipper allowance. So you're going to take all your measurements from that zipper allowance. So my shoulder measurement divided by 2 is 8 inches, and I came down by the round armhole measurements divided by 2 plus 1 inch for shoulder slope, which is 9 inches, and I extended the line. So the next thing is to mark the neckline. So I'm going to make use of the same neck width, which is 4 inches, and the depth is 3 inches. So I'll go ahead to mark it now and then use my curved ruler to create the neckline. And I'll come over to the armhole line, come down by 1 inch, and then connect it all the way to meet the neckline this way. So I'm going to make a little adjustment to the back neckline. So instead of that 3 inches, I'll come down by 1.5 inches because I want the back neckline to be higher than that. And then I will just go ahead to connect it this way. So disregard the old neckline that I marked. So the next thing we want to do now is to mark out the way we want the yoke to stop. So I'm going to come down by the same 7 inches I used for the front, so you can decide to do anything you want with yours. So I'll go ahead to extend the line, the point where the yoke will stop. So the next thing is to place the dart. So I'm going to mark the same 4 inches I used for the front panel on all the lines this way, and then connect the points together. After that, I'll come over to one side of the line on the half lengths, and then take 0.5 inches on both sides, take half an inch on both sides of the line, and then connect it all the way to meet that point where your yoke is going to stop this way. After that, the next thing is to place your round body measurement. So go ahead to place your round bust measurements divided by 4, add the dart there, and add 1 inch for seam allowance. And on the waistline, go ahead to place your round waist measurement divided by 4, add 1 inch for that and 1 inch for seam allowance, and then go ahead to connect all the points together. So after connecting, go ahead to extend it up to the chest line this way. The next thing is to mark the armhole curve. So get the midpoint of this line. Get the midpoint of this line, which is 4 inches, and then go ahead to just curve it all the way to meet the chest line this way. So after that, this is what we have. So we're not going to be replacing anything for this back panel because you can see that the darts did not get to that point. We're only going to close it up. So let's go ahead now to cut it out. So let's go ahead now to cut it out. So I'm going to eliminate 0.5 inches from this zipper point, zipper allowance. This is going to prevent any form of zipper bulging at the back. And then I'll proceed to cut it out. So I'll separate the yoke from the lower body, and this is what it looks like. So I'm also going to open up this dart point. I'm going to open up the dart area. So after opening up, I'm going to join the two patterns together this way so that I can cut it as a whole fabric. I hope you guys understand. I'm going to join these 2 points together and cut it out as a whole so that I don't have to take in any dart. So we're done with the pattern drafting part of this dress. Let's go ahead now to cut it out on our fabric. So guys, I've gone ahead to use the patterns to cut out my fabric, and this is what it looks like. So I added half an inch all around it except from the sides because it already has seam allowance, and for the yoke as well I added half an inch all around it. As you can see, this is for the back, and for the front panels I added half an inch on the dart point for joining and all around it. As you can see, I also did the same thing for the yoke. So let's go ahead to start joining the fabrics together. So guys, we'll be ending this video here for now. So in my next video, I'm going to show you guys how to join the fabrics together and how to create this beautiful structured dress with fox pockets. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, put on your notification bell so that when I post the continuation, you're going to get notified. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.